Tainted love, tainted love. Times I feel got to run away. I've got to get away from the things been too long on me. The love we share seems like it's going no. Oh, damn. Okay. Okay, that was a sound test. Okay. Hello, friends. Mark Holmes here. And as always, thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. I'm actually doing a little test out here outside in the outdoors. It's getting kind of warmer and stuff, although we haven't had a very cold winter. I'm actually using Fayetteville, North Carolina. How you doing, man? We're just up 95 from you up in Northern Virginia and things. And I'm trying to see how well this works. I'm trying, this is the new Mevo camera. It's supposed to be better at low light. And I'm trying it actually with the mic mixer, where I actually put two microphones in, and I'm using actually a regular microphone. So let me know how the sound is, if it actually sounds good, or if I need to turn it up some more and stuff. And let me know how the picture is, because I'm actually on a Wi-Fi system. I am excited as can be because for me, I like to see change. I like to see things grow, and I like to evolve. I realize that no matter how good you are doing, you've got to continue to strive to get better, because there's been so many companies or people that figure, I'm up at the top now. We're number one. We have things figured out. This is how we do things. And what happens is other people look at what you're doing and they say, if I do this, this, and this, I can get the same outcome for maybe less. Or maybe I can take what you did and I can improve on it. And they pass you by and you become the dinosaur. And see, when you don't evolve, Q, did you let those dogs out, Q? Um, when you don't evolve, then you are destined to become a dinosaur and die. And I think that was one of the problems for Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett kept looking back and saying, this is how we did things back in 95, and this is the way we do things. It would drive me crazy, because are we, Cooper, Cop, that's one of those things. Here, okay, let me give you my take on that. I think what's going to happen is I think Dak Prescott's going to get the franchise tag, and they're going to let Amari Cooper and Byron Jones hit the road. This is one of those things that you can say is, what would New England do? New England very rarely signs big name free agents of their own. They draft guys well and they let them go bye-bye. Because here's the way you look at it. Let's say, for example, we didn't re-sign DeMarcus Lawrence, right? Instead of paying him the $20 million, and we let him walk. Well, his value was up here, right? You know that somebody would have signed DeMarcus Lawrence for a big contract. And you know what we would have gotten in return? Probably a third-round draft pick. I know a third-round draft pick doesn't sound like much, but see, here's the thing. You got $20 million that you could spend on somebody else. You've got another pick that maybe you package up with another pick, and you trade up to get another guy. You get somebody who's younger and hungry, trying to make a name for themselves. And I don't know if that makes sense or not, but, when you think about 5.5 sacks is what we got for $21 million, because we would have had that $21 million last year, we would have had that $21 million this year. So instead of us having $77 million right now, we would have had $42 million more to spend on free agents. You think we could have gotten a couple of guys for that $42 million? Do you think we could have? And so I think that maybe, this is my speculation. I've been thinking about this quite a bit myself, and I've been sitting here thinking and saying, maybe that was a mistake to sign D-Law. And when you look at this, if you say Byron Jones would be about 14 or 15 and Amari Cooper would be about 18, so you're talking about 35, what, $33 million dollars for this year and then next year. Well, $33 million, dollars, you can sign another receiver and a couple of cornerbacks, right? And here's the thing, if Amari Cooper gets a big contract, you're going to get at least a fourth, if not a third. Same thing with Byron Jones. So, from the standpoint of saying, okay, we get a third and a fourth compensatory pick, we don't have that big salary right there. We can go out and be players in free agency. Or, better yet, draft well. New England has never really built their team on a whole lot of free agents. That's not to say that they don't bring in a Randy Moss. They get guys. Where am I? I am actually sitting outside. This is the outdoor Joe Boo's man cave here. How you doing? This is I built this about 2 years ago. Um, there's actually a reason why I built this. I had some people over, and it was wintertime, and my outdoor area was terrible. The man cave was nice, and they came over for dinner, and we had dinner and stuff. They came downstairs and they saw Joe Boo's bottle of Zaya rum, real good bottle. Like, man, that's some nice rum there. And I was like, man, let's take a couple of shots. And they said, man, if we only had a cigar, it's like, I got some Cubans, man, habaneros. And so we went outside, and my backyard was crap. And I said, if I ever get this opportunity again, I'm going to make sure I got a nice place to hang out. Okay. So this is the fire pit that I built. You know, I built the benches. Believe this or not. This is actually built out of 2x4s. I've got cushions that actually go in here. I've got a cabinet that's there. There's actually a 65-inch TV that's mounted on the wall that's got a whole cabinet that keeps it, protected from the snow and the rain and everything. So this is my outdoor space. And what I wanted to do with this is I wanted this to be an extension or another studio setup for my man cave. Problem is I never really got a chance to get it going for the year and things like that. But now with this new Mevo that I just got, man, I can set one of these up here. I like the simplicity on the area of the chats. My humble opinion is the mic is good inside. The mic is good inside. It's not good? It's not sounding good? I mean, does it need to be a little louder? Okay. This is me. Actually, I'm looking at the picture. How's it look to you guys? But let me try this. Let me do something here. I'm going to bump the mic up just a little bit more. Because, see, technically, this mic, you're supposed to be up really close. You're supposed to be this close to the mic, but I don't have a stand that gets it this close. So, unless I change the stand, it's not quite as close as it's supposed to be. So, if you want me to, I can let me do this. I can go ahead and hold the microphone like this, and hopefully it's not. Oh, that's okay. Let's turn it down some. Okay, so if I hold the microphone like this, then you should hear it a lot better for it. So what I need to do is get another mic stand out here to hold the microphone closer to my face. Sounds good. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is do a better setup or change the things around. Because here's one of the things I learned. When you go driving like through a tunnel, like underneath the bay or, underwater or through a mountain and stuff, you notice how the tunnels always kind of bend or go sideways or have a turn on them. There's a reason behind that. Because when you look at the same thing consistently, you get bored and you drift off. So what they've learned is by changing and having a little bit different view, it keeps your attention better. Does that make sense? So changing the studio set, coming outside or being behind the desk or, bringing the camera in, kind of close, get your attention subliminally. So that's one of those good things. Can you get a fly, Eagles fly, big pain? Hell no. How about die, Eagles die? Okay, how about that? Now, I'm hearing the idiots saying that P.J. Williams from the XFL and let Dak walk. That's hey, you got to understand this. Let's think about this. What happens when they come up with some crazy shit like that? What happens? What happens is you click on it and you go, oh my God, listen to this idiot. Jabba the Hutt said, man, don't pay Dak. Get Cardell Jones or some shit like that. And we click on it. When have you ever seen anybody scathe for coming up with stuff that's not right? Where, somebody's getting suspended because they said something that was just so utterly wrong. They don't. What they get is how many people clicked on their links. Cowboys about to make a big splash. Well, here's the thing. Here's how you make. Actually, I've been thinking about this because when you think about what the Cowboys did, oh man, I'm not a big fan of trading up your first round pick. It costs you too damn much, and it risks too much. You might get a generational player, but see, here's the thing. Think about what we did. We were 14th, I think, and we moved up to 6th for Morris Claiborne, a guy they said was the best defensive player in the draft. Can't miss player. As soon as I hear that can't miss, oh man, I turn the other way. I turn the other way because, see, I'm old enough to remember some of the guys that they said were, can't miss. They said Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf, they're 1 and 1A. You can't miss with either of these guys. Both of these guys are going to be in their 10-plus years. Peyton Manning's the more polished player, but Ryan Leaf, he's got that arm. He is going to be great. Going to be great. Can't miss with him. I remember Tony Mandarich. This guy was like 300 pounds before 300 pounds was cool. But it wasn't fat. This guy was working out on Muscle Beach, and he was just like, boom, just big country, muscles hanging all over the place. He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and they said, this is the man who's going to change offensive tackles. The new breed. Yeah. The thing about the draft is we don't know what we don't know. Guys can look great. You've seen quarterbacks who's got 6'4", he's got the Superman hair, he's got the cannon for the arm, all kinds of numbers in college, and then they come to the NFL and can't bust a grape. And then you get guys like Russell Wilson who were 5'11" on a good day with slippers on, that they say, if you need a backup for a couple of games, he's a good bet, but don't look at him being the guy. You take a guy like, say, Charles Haley, who went to a Division I AA school and never had a winning record. And he becomes the first man with 5 Super Bowl rings and a Hall of Famer. So the problem with moving up is it costs you a lot. You risk a lot. Not only are you getting a bust with that player, you're also missing out on the potential of that second-round pick that should be a starter. Now, here's what I've been thinking. Never heard of Q. Q, you never heard of Q? Like Q. Bring them dogs back in and have him bite his leg. Have them bite his leg, man. What do you mean? Where have you been that you haven't heard of Q? He's got a puppy named Nubs. Cutest little thing in the world. He's got 2 nubs for front legs. He's going to get a cart. What are the Cowboys doing, Mark? You know what the Cowboys are doing? They're making headlines. They're making headlines because that's what the Dallas Cowboys do. They are world champions when it comes to creating drama where there doesn't need to be any. Because you know how Jerry Jones is. I'm going to put the microphone down here a little bit. I'll just lean forward a little bit here and just look kind of goofy. Let's just move the camera a little bit here. Um, you got to laugh out of that cue. Okay. Um, so here's what I was thinking. Here is what I was thinking because I was looking at. I wish I had the numbers in front of me. I'm drawing a blank. My blood pressure's been up real bad. My heart's been ticking kind of funny, and I've had these migraine headaches. Um, and so I don't have my numbers in my head like I normally do. But they were talking about the efficiency. I was looking at a draft, basically looking at draft needs and basically positions. Of course, we have the 17th pick. Um, you don't know what we're going to do as far as Amari Cooper or Randall Cobb. If we're going to keep those guys. We don't know if we're going to keep Byron Jones. We can assume that we're going to keep our quarterback, but who knows? Who the heck knows? Our offensive efficiency ranked third. I think our defense efficiency ranked like 18th or 20th, somewhere around in there. Our special teams ranked at 26. Now, I know a lot of people keep saying, get Tua. We'll get that guy, man. He's going to win. No, okay. You can put Tua there, but if your special teams are still at the bottom and your defense is middle of the road, you ain't winning shit more than what you have already. You're just not. You're just not. You need to work on that defense. For me, I like numbers. The more the merrier, because I look at draft picks as a 50-50 crapshoot. You got a 50-50 chance of them being a bust, or you got a 50-50 chance of them being a Hall of Famer. That's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it. We've had guys that, Bobby Carpenter, first-round draft pick. Oh, man, this guy's going to be a great linebacker. Bust. One good game he had was when he played for the Lions and got a couple of interceptions at Tony Romo. That's it. So it behooves you to get as many picks as possible. But I would look at it this way. There's going to be 3 quarterbacks, maybe 4 taken before we get picked. So that means about 13 picks before us, and you've got only quarterbacks taken. I don't think we need a quarterback, but maybe I'm wrong. Some offensive tackles are going to go off the board early, okay? So you figure about, 2 or 3 of those guys easily. So that's 7 guys right there. There's going to be a cornerback that's going to take it off, right? So what's that? About 9 people. It's going to be Chase Daniels. He's going off the board. So that's about 10. So that's only about 6 other people in front of us. So you start thinking one of those great defensive tackles could be there, right? Then our second pick is 48, 49, 49. 49, that's not bad. We had 58 last year, and we took Tristan Hill. But here's where you look at the value of draft picks. You could take that 3rd-round draft pick and package it up with the second and probably move to about 33, 34. That's damn near another first-round talent player. And if there is a ball-hawking safety out there, a guy that you don't deem that is head and shoulders above the way, wouldn't it behoove you to get a defensive tackle, a nose tackle, that's an absolute beast, and get a ball-hawking safety with those first 3 picks, basically? And from then, you go through best players available. The offense, unless you don't sign Amari Cooper, the biggest need I see is if you don't sign Amari Cooper, you need another receiver, is actually tight end. You really need the help on the defense. At least that's the way I look at it. You know what? Hey, Byron Cowboys, why don't you show them how it's done? I love, there's a lot of guys out there that are soft-spoken. I can tell you one that you can barely whispers. When he talks, it's like a whisper. Small in stature. And that's Barry Sanders. If you didn't know Barry Sanders played football, you would never in your life think that he would be a Hall of Famer. He is so soft spoken, it's ridiculous. I saw him at the NFLPA, and I had met him before. Met him before when United Way used to do the halftime shows. Met him in the locker room, and it's so funny because he hardly smiles. It's just a little. That's that's it. Has very few words to say, but when he gets out on the field, he's a beast. Now you can call Amari Cooper soft. I think Amari Cooper was a lot worse hurt than what was let on. But I'll take a guy who had well over 1,000 yards last year. Get him healthy. And that's why you need to sign Dak Prescott. So that way, you sign Dak, you can franchise tag him. 1 year. 1 year. That's all you got to worry about. But they're playing around with Dak Prescott. Tua could become Charlie the Tuna. Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, I may have to remember that. I'm critical of his production on the field. Don't. Well, you know what? I got. Yeah, he had a bad couple of games there. Um, Towards the end of the season, I'll give you that. But I look at the body of work of what he did, where he literally saved our season in 2018. He saved our season. I see a guy who can run some precise routes. But see, again, this is the thing that people don't, they don't want to give Dak uh, any kind of a pass with maybe he was hurt a lot. Do that foot he could not go through training camp with the plantar fasciitis. And here's what I know from personal experience: when this knee was messed up and coming back from it, I put more pressure on this one, which misaligned my back. My back started messing up. Oh, this knee felt great, but everything else was jacked up from it. And you don't know, with him not being able to practice in training camp, how bad that situation really was. Most of these guys can break a leg and off the field. They're not going to go ahead and show you that they're in pain, but it doesn't mean that they can perform. You got to give the guy a benefit of the doubt for a guy who has done what he has done. Big pain, that will be fine. So, again, I wasn't planning on doing a real long live stream here. I just mainly wanted to check and see how the camera was working out here and see if it sounds good. Do you guys like this setup here? I should have had a little bottle of rum over here and chilling, but I think it actually looks pretty good from. Let me look at the laptop here. Actually, I can go like this, can't I? Damn, I can go. I can go just like this. Damn, can't turn the head and get his interception. Well, see, that's where your mom has that, and she walks with a boot. Yeah, try playing football and having people chasing your ass. 34 million for Dak. Yes, it looks great. Okay, cool. How's the sound? Does it sound? Brother, can you hear me? Brother, can you see me? Um, Crystal clear. This you guys just made my day. This is literally this camera is um, basically brand new. Okay, I've always used Mevo cameras, right? And they had a beta program for it because they're pre-selling the cameras. They're actually not sending these cameras out until April 30th. And I got, got in contact with Mevo. I said, "Hey, Mevo, look, hey, brother, come let me talk to you for a minute." I said, "Listen, man, I got a couple of Mevo cameras. I'm going to pre-order one. Can I get into that beta testing and get the one early? Can a brother get that early?" He's like, "Well, the beta program ended." I said, "Come on, man." I said, "Man, what I want to do is," I said, "I want to get this new one. So when I go to the draft, the NFL draft, I can use it, but you're not talking about till April 30th. That's after the draft. And I said, here's what I can do, man. I can do an unboxing for you guys, man. I can test it out and stuff. I said, you know what? I can tell you, it's sponsored by Mevo. He said, let me get back to you. This was on Thursday. Okay. This was on Thursday. I got this thing yesterday. I got this yesterday. I've been testing it out. I've been doing videos and stuff for the site and stuff. And so that's where that's what we're doing right now. So shout out to Mevo. They made sure I got this in my hands to test it out. And I got to tell you, doing this video here in low light is freaking incredible. It is crystal clear for what I see. No Cam. Oh, Cam Newton? Well, I got to tell you, this is when I got the other Mevo cameras I have. The camera itself was $4.99, and then the battery booster. Chris Miller, thank you very much for that super chat. Debate screaming A. Smith. Oh, man, I've called that dude out. I've run into him. I've told Stephen A. I wanted to beat you. He's like, let's get Vince together. I ain't debating you. I think he's scared. I think he's scared, man. But what I was going to say about this camera. The other one's the battery for the booster battery for 10 hours of life is another $250. So you're talking about $750 for those other two cameras that I bought. This new one, the battery is built into it. It's got 4 to 6 hours of battery life. It's $299. $299. And it's got, instead of the fisheye camera, it's got the wide angle, okay, which I need for my wide behind. I think, Brian, it's funny. We were talking about what games I was going to. I think I am going to go to the first home game. Let's hope it's not the Giants. Can we stop starting the season against the Giants? Can a brother get somebody else? But yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna do that. We're gonna be doing a tailgate again at FedEx Field, that toxic waste dump. I think the tailgate was probably better than being actually in the stadium. And we're also going to be doing one at the Ravens game. We're going to be tailgating there as well with Cowboys experience. So you guys know how we roll with that. Jet D's in the house. I see Zeppelin's in the house. What's up, gentlemen? Go to Philadelphia. Here's the thing, man. I want to go to Philadelphia. I really do. I have it on my bucket list of actually going to a game in Philadelphia. But here's the thing. They say don't wear Cowboys gear to an Eagles game. You're okay. But the problem is this face. This face. They know this face. There's so many of you Eagle fans that are out there. I'll get recognized and they'll be like, there he is. That trash talking cowboy. Kill him. I'm serious. Chris Miller, welcome to being a club member. Make sure you send me your email to cowboysmark94@gmail so that way we can get you your shot glass. I appreciate that. Eric Freeman, thank you for the super chat. And here's what we's gonna do. Everybody, and I haven't been keeping up with it, but I'll make sure I do it. Everybody who's done a super chat since the Super Bowl, I have the bronze 100th anniversary statue. The price of that thing is $60. I bought it at the Super Bowl, and I'm gonna put all your guys who gave super chats since the Super Bowl together. We're going to do a drawing for that, and we're going to get that thing mailed out. So I appreciate that. One of the reasons why I'm able to upgrade the equipment and things is because of your guys' donations and purchasing the shot glass racks and T-shirts and all that stuff, because I have a dream. I want to take YouTube to be considered more mainstream. Right now, if you go to the Dallas Cowboys, the NFL, and you try and get a media pass and you say, hey, I do YouTube. I need a media pass. Rhonda Babcock. Backlock. Okay. We're just going to say thank you very much for that super chat for the drawing. So you can't get media passes and things. They don't look. They look at you like you're something wrong with you. You're afflicted. But I want to take this to a whole nother level where it's considered sports media. And having the look, the feel, the sound, being at the locations are all things that you're doing. See, and it's things like this. This little package right here. This is actually really cool. Excuse me. I think I need to wash it down with some rum. This is actually a 2-channel mic mixer, and that's why we have the microphone here, so that way we can get professional sound. This new camera that we have here, when they finish the software this summer, I'll be able to actually take 3 of these cameras. So I can set one here, I can set one here, I can put one back over here, and I'll be able to actually mix them using my cell phone. So instead of having to take my laptop and having to have an Ethernet cable and stuff, we can start doing like real programming, or real look and feel and things right here portably. So that's where I'm constantly trying to work and figuring out how to do this, making contacts with people and working with players and things, so that way we can try and get some of the news before you guys. Well, here's where we're going to, okay, you know what? I agree with you that Mike McCarthy is going to be a huge upgrade for the Dallas Cowboys. I think uh, some people will disagree, but Jason Garrett, I'm sorry, he was a handicap. There was nothing. I try and think. I don't like to talk bad about people, but I honestly look back and say, what one thing can you look at and say was positive about Jason Garrett? What was the one innovation? What was the new thing that they brought to the Dallas Cowboys? Because when Tom Landry came through, Tom Landry was an innovator. He went to small black schools and found talent. He came up with the shotgun, the flex defense, the shift for the offensive line. He got Bob Beeman from track. He used the first team to use the computer. They got a guy from India who knew nothing about football, but he knew analytics. These are things that started the NFL and are still carried through today. The problem for Tom Landry was everybody caught up to him. And like I was saying, that when you don't evolve, you die. And that's what happened to Tom Landry. He was still stuck to the flex defense. He wasn't being the innovator here. And you can't do what you did before. The Tampa 2 defense, it was great there when it first came out, but it's outdated. The game has evolved and passed that by. And I look back with Jason Garrett and say, what did he do that was innovative? I can't find, I can't think of a thing. I can't honestly think of a single thing. Dallas fans since 1997, laugh out loud. Jason Garrett. Oh, no, you know what? I'm wrong. Let me correct myself. I know what I know what innovation Jason Garrett brought to us. He brought the clap. Jason Garrett brought the clap. So with Mike McCarthy brings a lot more experience. If you look at Jason Garrett and say, how much experience did you have? Well, you were a backup quarterback. You didn't play that much. Now, you did get to watch Troy Aikman. But you were quarterback coach under Nick Saban for 1 year before you became offensive coordinator. Then you became the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. To put that in perspective, that would Kellen Moore would now be our head coach. You think Kellen Moore's ready to be our head coach? That's what we did. The experience that Kellen Moore has had is exactly the same experience that Jason Garrett had when he became head coach. It's not much. That's not much to become the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And so he relied on what he knew from before because he had no other perspective. He was with the Giants for a minute, and then, of course, under Nick Saban for a year, and then he's now the head coach. You coach with what your experiences are, and he didn't have much. McCarthy started his career working with Joe Montana at the end of his. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. That's some great quarterback play right there. Experience, we have a lot. We've had some head coaches, successful head coaches, but guys who had to be in charge. Our offensive line, Joe Phoeben. Is it Joe? Who was the head coach of Miami Dolphins, line coach. He's got a view of things from what Miami and definitely what New England used to do to them. Here's what New England used to always do to us. Maybe we can use that. Mike Nolan, part of the Ravens defense, having a Ray Lewis, head coach of the 49ers. Not successful, though. But you look at what he did with that defense as linebacker coach in New Orleans. New Orleans, remember, we had Rob Ryan. Rob Ryan, who went here, who said, I'll be unemployed for about 5 minutes. It was longer than 5 minutes. Went on to New Orleans and screwed up that defense. You look at how those linebackers played downhill in New Orleans under Mike Nolan. If we can get Jalen Smith, and if we can get Van Der Esch playing downhill like a DeMario Davis, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. We go to that 3-4 defense. Oh, shit. Oh, man. We get that big fat ass in the middle to shut down the run, keep the quarterback from stepping up in the pocket. Oh, man. That's when you start getting those turnovers. We get some playmakers in the secondary. Yeah. The fact that Dak, as well as he did with Garrett calling plays, thank you. Thank you. You can't ever look and say that Jason Garrett, he's a quarterback whisperer. You understand Pat Mahomes being great, having Andy Reid, because Andy Reid would always, Andy Reid had everybody. Michael Vick looking like a pocket packer. He had, Donovan McNabb looking like a great passer and say, he ended up with even, he's just a guy who gets the most out of a quarterback. Alex Smith. Jason Garrett? Yeah. You look at Bill Belichick. That's a guy who takes his backup quarterbacks. Guys that have started their first game always have won under Bill Belichick. We lose our starting quarterback under Jason Garrett, we can't win a damn game. What's up, Justin? How you doing tonight? Garrett was not the he wasn't the problem. What was the problem then, my man? What was the problem? He certainly wasn't the solution, because see, here's the way I look at a coach. First of all, how are you not the problem when you ice your own kicker? How are you not the problem when you can't manage the clock? How are you not the problem when you continue to run on first down when everybody in the stadium knows you're going to run on first down? How are you not the problem when you're playing the Washington Redskins? You got a minute and some left and you only run 2 plays and try and kick a long-ass field goal, get a penalty that knocks you out of field goal range, and you lose that one. How are you not the problem when you're up 26-3 against the Green Bay Packers? Not Aaron Rodgers, mind you, but Matt flickin' Flynn, and you pass the damn ball more than the team that's trying to catch you. How are you not the problem when you're up not once but twice against the Detroit Lions by 21 points in the second half, and yet you still end up losing the game? Do you know how many games Pete Carroll has lost when he has been up at halftime? Not up big. I'm not talking about 3 scores. Up by 1 point or more. I believe it's 62-1. Can I get that guy? Because that guy ain't the problem. My guy? Come on. Come on, man. Come on. You can't honestly say Jason Garrett is a great coach. You can't. You can't. I won't let you. Not in here. Jason Garrett was trash. He was trash, man. Come on. Well, Robbie. Yeah. Now, I will. I will. Okay. Let me defend Jason Garrett for just this much. He talked about it, then Jerry Jones vetoed it. So there's that. Now, I got to, and some people do, because a lot of people say, well, Jerry Jones wouldn't have let Jason Garrett coach. Do we think Jason Garrett was capable of really coaching and doing everything? Are we sure that he was capable and we just wouldn't let him? Because he used to call plays with the team. He called plays when we were 8-8, 8-8, 8-8. When we had win or go home games and we failed 3 years in a row. And that's when they said, Jason, we don't want to fire you, man. We understand, but we're going to take the play calling away from you. Was it because he was trying to do too many things that he wasn't ready for? That he didn't have the experience to it? He hadn't had the pressure of having all these things, and maybe it was Jerry Jones helping a brother out? Is that possible? Mike, were you there to see him come up with the the whole playbook? Did you actually see that? My mic's acting up. Is it still acting up? Hold up. Is it still acting up? The sound's cutting out. Is it back in? It might have been I've been talking too loud. Let me see if it's still working now. Is it working now? Is it working now? Mike is fine? Okay. Are you sure? Are y'all playing with me again? Y'all are playing with me, aren't you? You're playing with me. Hold it. Let me. Oh, that might help. Let me unmute myself. Sounds cutting out. Is it back in? I can hear me just fine. See, y'all with the brother. I know y'all. See how y'all are. See. I believe everything you guys say, man. I believe everything you say. So come on, don't do that to a brother. Okay. Although what it might be is if I get real excited and go like that, it'll peak out and it'll do that. So I shouldn't do that into your ear. What's up? Dallas fan 1987 bottom line. Thank you. Bottom line, Jason Garrett had 10 years. Now here's the thing. In the modern era of football, I'm not talking about, Tom Landry and Don Shula and those guys. But since about the 80s, if you had not won the Super Bowl within 5 years, you haven't. That's one of those statistics that basically, and that's why most teams look at it and say, okay, we got your window. That gives you enough time to get in, implement your system, get the players that you deem that you need for your system, and win. And if you haven't won in that much time, players start to tune you out. Lewis, how are you doing, man? I'm just out here in the cold, a little fire pit going on, testing my opinion of Nick Foles, system quarterback. And would you, excuse me, I'm going to get cussed out by any Eagle fans in here right now. But here's what I'm going to say. The fact that Nick Foles, a journeyman quarterback, was able to step in and play not once but twice, to me, looks like a system that Philadelphia has. I look at New England. Tom Brady's a great quarterback. Don't get it twisted. But understand, Bill Belichick has a system. That's why Jacoby Brissett can start his first game and win. That's why Jimmy Garoppolo can look like a Hall of Famer, coming in his start. That's why a Matt Castle can have a winning record when Tom Brady got hurt, because Bill Belichick has a system and can coach. I think Doug Peterson is of that ilk. And I think that Nick Foles was fortunate to be going into that system with that coach. When you look at what he's done elsewhere, it's not been good. I'm not going to look and say that he is a great quarterback. You want to talk about people that are average, that guy's average. But he walked into the right situation with a team that was a great balanced team that had a running attack, that had some good wide receivers, had a great tight end, and a really good defense, and they had a fourth-place schedule. So all of those things came together at the right time and made it perfect for that. Sometimes that's what happens with teams winning Super Bowls. It's not always the best team on the field that wins. Sometimes it's some crazy calls that happen that end up putting you in a position to win. You can take almost every game and take 4 plays, and 4 plays different. That game is different. That's the great thing, I guess, about football, is it's so unpredictable. It's rarely what you think it's going to be. Who honestly thought that the 49ers were going to be in the Super Bowl? Who honestly thought that Lamar Jackson was going to lead the NFL in TD passes? Who? Maybe Lamar's mama did, but that's it. Ain't nobody thought of that. Nobody thought of that. I'm not, you know what? You can be, like I said, see, I told you I was going to piss off some Eagle fans. I told you I would piss them off. But listen, was Nick Foles, okay, we'll find out. Nick Foles will probably get cut by Jacksonville. We'll see what Nick Foles does elsewhere. You can't honestly look at his body and say, other than his first year that he started for the Eagles was pretty good. But everything else was bad. And that's one of those cases of, do you look and say, oh, well, I tell you what, buddy, I didn't get your name. You honestly look at Nick Foles. If you say that Nick Foles is great, he went on that run. He got us into the playoffs the last year. He's great. He is a guy you can win with. Then why didn't he win at the other places he was at? If he's head and shoulders better, above average, then how come he's not doing it, didn't do it elsewhere? My honest opinion of Carson Wentz, I'm going to say Carson Wentz is a really good quarterback. But Carson Wentz isn't as good as they make him to be. I'm sorry. 48 fumbles is a lot of fumbles. When you have second most fumbles in the NFL behind a rookie, Danny Dimes, and Danny Dimes didn't even start every game. You understand that? Danny Dimes didn't start 16 games, and he only had one fumble more than Carson Wentz. Ball control is Carson Wentz's weak thing. And, of course, staying healthy. It's 3 years in a row, 3 years, because he got hurt in the playoffs too. He made it to the playoffs. Congratulations. But it's 3 years in a row he's been injured. So that's my opinion. He's a really good quarterback. You got to be concerned about his health, and you got to be concerned about his turnovers. Well, Thomas, he sucked bad. Um, Let me look up his stats. I'm so happy that this is working out here. When I've The other night when I was just using my cell phone camera, I was having a problem connecting with the Wi-Fi and the signal was terrible. Okay, so let's look at let's just look at Nick Foles' career numbers. Okay, goes 1-5, 1,600 yards, 6 TDs, 5 interceptions. Okay, second year in Philadelphia, percentage, 27 interceptions. That was his great year with the Eagles. The next year with 2,100 yards, TDs, 10 interceptions. Then he went to the Rams, where he started 11 games, 4-7, 2,052 yards, 7 TDs, 10 interceptions. Then he went to Kansas City, 410 yards, 3 TDs, no interceptions. Came back to Philadelphia, of course, and 5 TDs, 2 interceptions, 537 yards. Wasn't asked to do a whole lot. Again, he wasn't asked to do a whole lot. They had a team that could run the football. They had a defense. And then last year he saved the season for you guys. 1,400 yards, 7 TDs, 4 interceptions. And then Jacksonville, 4 games, 736 yards, 3 TDs, and 2 touchdowns in 4 games. Yeah, that's not a great quarterback. Sorry. His career's got 11,901 yards, 71 TDs, 35 interceptions. Sorry. That's average at best. Let's see how many fumbles he has. 33 fumbles on top of it. Ouch. So I can't look at that and say that Nick Foles is a great quarterback. Sorry. You can be mad at me, Eagle fans. He's got a statue out there. I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at him because he's got that ring that he earned through the playoffs and the Super Bowl. Dak is a black quarterback? Really? I didn't know that. Are you sure about that? Dak is black? Why does it matter? I'm black. Does it matter? Does it? How about he's a human being? How about he's American? How about he's a football player? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh man. Let me make it an equal opportunity for people to get mad at me. We're talking about Dez. Why do I feel like every day we have the daily Dez update? We see Dez Bryant sitting on the ground catching footballs. We see Dez Bryant catching passes from Pat Mahomes. We see Dez Bryant running, over at the Star. We hear Dez talking about, I want to come back and everything else. Why does this feel like I'm watching from a movie? They throw the trailers out like on top of each. Every time you turn around, they're playing that trailer, and you're looking at all this action. Oh my God, man! Look at the car, man! Oh man, you see the guys, all the drama. Yeah, I'm coming back. I'm working. You see all of this stuff on there, and then you go to the movies, and the movie sucks. You go through and say, "Damn." That 3 minutes of clips, that was the only good parts of the movie. I'm afraid that that's what it's going to be. That we're getting sold on the excitement. That we're watching, oh man, we're watching these trailers of Dez. Oh, Dez, yeah, man. I think that's one we need to stay away from, man. Let's turn the page. It's a young man's game. Dez Bryant hasn't been healthy and great since 2014. It is 2020, 6 years later. And the other thing with Dez, listen, I loved Dez when he played for us, man. Dez was passionate. Dez was an absolute beast. When he was younger, he could out-muscle, out-jump, and just be more physical than the next guy. He ain't got that now. Not like he used to. But what bothers me about Dez is the fact that he is constantly on social media. Not just about him working out, about everything. And this is what times are good and I'm trying to get back. So go ahead. I know the number's going to drop right now. I'm going to go run and say, Mark said that Dez shouldn't be coming back. I know that. I'm sorry, but I just got that feeling that, we're only seeing the best of the best on that. And that's not what you're going to get. Sorry. Well, Jet, I have no problem with getting more picks. The way you got to look at it is if you've got a guy that you realize is a game changer there at 17, you take him. But if it's a position like, we got laughed at when we traded back with the 49ers and took Zach Martin. The Cowboys traded for a center, a guy you could have gotten the center. What are they thinking? They're so stupid. Yeah, well, that guy's been an all-pro quite a few times. Pro Bowler every year. Missed 1 year because of that syndrome, but came back, didn't skip a beat. And with the extra pick, we did pick up Terrence Williams. He wasn't great, but considering it was a warm body, didn't do too bad right there. I know when we traded up to get more that didn't work out too good for us. Although, shout out to him. He's got a ring. Dez is younger. Is younger than who? He's younger than me. I'll give you that much. He's younger than me. Q, you say no Dez too? Okay. And Witten, listen, let's turn the page on Witten too. Here's what happened with us. So this is where I kind of say, Dez says all the right things. He says, yeah, man, I just other guys gonna need a break. I'll just be a red zone threat. You know what? I'll play tight end as long as I ain't got to block nobody. We were sold that, Jason Witten coming back, he's coming back to be a mentor. 20, 25 plays a game is all he's looking for. He just wants to be part of it. But yet, His behind was in there every single play. Blake Jarwin had to be the second tight end to get out there. And that, your tight end has to be a game changer. Tight end has to be a game changer. He needs, forget Tua, he needs to heal. Oh my God. Again, that is stuff that is made up for you guys to talk about, to continue to search for, to give them clicks. Come on, man. You're not comparing Dez to Witten. I don't want either. I agree with you. Witten is slower than your 3-year-old niece. Damn. Why are you going to talk about your poor niece like that? Dez is not a tight end. Somebody say move up to get Tua? No. Well, they're going to talk about that because Tua was like, a dream scenario would be the Cowboys quarterback. Yeah, well, when you're looking at being in the offense system, I can understand that. I would say Jason Whitlock. I hate worse. Jason Whitlock, his whole thing is just to be just a straight up, hater. Don't get me started on him. Well, Tony Pollard is Tony Dorsett. See, I think they need to play him more, personally. Sean Lee needs to go. If I had to keep one of the three, it would be Sean Lee. Tua's a bad boy. You want draft picks, not ex-Cowboys players. Jabba the Hutt Whitlock. How strong is Zeke's work ethic? I hope, more than anything else, I tell you what, I hope that Zeke and D-Law, actually, I actually had a take early. I get working, and I'm sorry because I'll lose my train of thought and come up with something else. But I was sitting here thinking today because I was talking about Dak Prescott and his endorsements because everybody keeps saying, Dak's got to understand because he's the face of the Cowboys. He's going to get all these deals. Well, the fact that Dak Prescott is the guy that he is, if he were Jameis Winston, for the Cowboys, he wouldn't be getting those endorsements. It's because he's a stand-up guy. It's because he does charity work. It's because he is winning and doing what he's doing that he's been looked at as the underdog. And he's out there busting his ass to go ahead and get those endorsements. And he realizes if I don't play well, I don't get those. That shit dries up. And so that's where I was sitting there thinking that, Emma Smith, just because the Cowboys quarterback, I was like, Quincy Carter didn't get those endorsements. Drew Bledsoe didn't get those endorsements. But I was thinking about one endorsement that maybe we need to give back. I've been thinking about D-Law. He got that Snickers contract. He got the Snickers bar, rope chain, and everything else. And I'm sure they gave him plenty of Snickers bars to eat, right? He don't seem to be hangry anymore, does he? He ain't hangry anymore, is he? I want that dude hangry on Sundays. I want him out there pissed the hell off. I want him out there just mad, just mean. I don't want no Snickers contract for him. I'm serious. Ever since he got the Snickers contract, he ain't the same guy. He ain't hangry. I want him hangry. If Tua takes one good hit, he's done. Jet, that's what I'm sitting there saying because the Cowboys got $77 million. This time last year, the Eagles had $25 million in the red. We are $102 million different than where the Eagles were last year, but yet they paid Carson Wentz, right? Kansas City only has $13 million of space right now. They're going to have to restructure or let some guys go in order to sign Mahomes. That's a fact. That is a fact. So you think that Mahomes is going to be able to definitely get, he's already gotten commercials. Heck, he's probably getting paid from Des Bryant for throwing the football to him. You look at him and say, hey, buddy, you know you're going to get all kinds of endorsements. You're the face of the NFL. We want to keep winning Super Bowls. We only got $13 million. You know we're going to have to let go of that tackle that's blocking for you so you can get paid, right? Why don't you take a team-friendly deal? They don't say that, though, do they? Mr. Antoine Myers with the super chat. How you doing, man? Well, his worth ethic for me, the problem is he didn't show up for training camp. Angel M, all that money he has. You know, I wonder how much. You remember Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott are always in the top 10 in jersey sales, right? Think of how many jerseys he done sold for the Dallas Cowboys in the NFL. Hell, that's probably enough for his contract right there alone. Well, you know what, guys? My feet are cold. I didn't put any socks on, and I just got my look. Big dog, what's up, Antoine? Antoine, what's up, man? We don't agree, but see, you know what? This is a perfect example right here. I wish people could take an example from Antoine and me. We don't agree on Dak Prescott and stuff like that, but so many times when people don't see eye to eye, they automatically just have the, F you, man. If you don't agree with me, you're a piece of crap. Man, it don't have to be that way. You can have your opinion and I can have mine. So shout out to you, Antoine. But my feet are cold because I got my cowboy slippers on here. I got my cowboy slippers, but I ain't got no socks on, and the heat don't go down, and now I got a cramp in my toe. Oh, I got a cramp in my pinky toe. Oh, damn! I got a cramp in my toe. Ah! Okay, it's gone. It left. Thank you. Whew. Okay. Thoughts on Skip. You know what? I get tired of Skip Bayless. This whole thing of 1 minute, Dak Prescott, he's my guy. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. Next minute, he's throwing his stuff in the trash. And then this whole thing of, you need to bring Tom Brady in. Oh, really? I thought you were a Cowboy fan and a Dak supporter. Man, get out of here with that trash. He's, again, another one of those ones. We make the shit up so that way you will watch. Skip. We need some bullshit, Skip. We got to keep the people watching, Skip. Cowboys X Factor. Yes, we have been actually out here live streaming with the new Mevo camera. It looks crystal clear. And I actually got this new mic mixer right here. And we're actually using my regular mic right here to try and give us some better sound quality. So, damn, it's 9:40? It's 9:40? Damn. I need to go inside because I need to carry my ass to bed because I got to go to work in the morning, early in the morning. There is no rest for the weary. But I got to tell you, though, I want to thank you guys for being here so I wouldn't sit out here with the L. Because right now, I feel like we got the dub because all of you guys have been up in here. We got the dub here at Skip's Restaurant. We got the big W. But seriously, on a serious note, the Cowboys have a lot of work to do. A lot over the next couple of weeks. They got to figure out who's going to stay, who's going to go, and the direction of this team. I hope and pray that they can get this thing together. I really and truly do. I hope they make the right decisions. I think they got some good coaches that are there. I think they have some talented young players, but they need some help in the right places, and they need a change in attitude. If they do those things, the sky's the limit. If they don't get that attitude together, if they don't make the right calls on these players, well, then we're going to be back where we've been for the last 25 years. I'm ready for a change. I don't know about you guys. But thank you, all 151 of you guys that have been in here hanging out and being part of Joe Boo Sports Report. I'll see you guys first thing in the morning with Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboys. Good night.